Hi, welcome to this week's Torah from a different location because I am home with Corona quarantining, and so this video was taken from at home rather than from in shul. I hope you're all well. Baruch Hashem, I've been quite well even though I've had Corona, and I hope that by next week when my quarantine is over, I'll be able to rejoin you in shul as shul opens up again on Wednesday or Thursday. So this week's Sedra has a very strange pasuk, a very strange offer that's made by Yaakov Avinu to his father-in-law or future father-in-law Lavan. Lavan says to Yaakov, you don't have to work for me for free. Tell me what you want. And Yaakov says, I will work for you for 7 years for your daughter Rachel. And he works for 7 years, and the Torah tells us, Vayu be'enov kiyomim achodim. It was considered like a very few days, be'ahavosei oiso, because he loved her so much. And it seems almost very strange. First of all, why did Yaakov give such a huge price? Why didn't Yaakov say, I'll work for you for a year, I'll work for you for 2 years? 7 years sounds really, really a lot of time. And then the Torah tells us that Yaakov considered it a very small amount of time. Why is it a small amount of time? It seems to be a tremendous amount of time to have invested in it. And then he doesn't get this wife, and then he works another 7 years, having worked 7 years now for Leah and another 7 years for Rachel. But I think the answer lies in the following idea. Everything in life that's worthwhile will need to be worked for, to be gained. The things that are worthwhile don't just come to you free. You want to be wealthy? Chances are you're going to have to work for it. I have somebody who's spoken to me who's constantly looking how to make money, but he's not willing to do X, Y, Z. He's not willing to do anything. He wants to make money, he wants to make it fast, and only in this way. And I keep on saying, listen, if you're not willing to work for it, chances are you won't make it. You want to have good relationships with people? You need to work on it. They don't come for free. You need to give, and you need to invest, and you need to be willing to really, really put yourself out there in order to have those relationships. A lot of things, almost anything. You want to have a good education, you're going to have to work in order to gain that education. Whatever it is that you want, it needs working for. And so what the Torah might be telling us is not so much that Yaakov Avinu felt it went quickly, although it did also go quickly for him. The Torah is telling us for Yaakov Avinu 7 years was not considered a lot. If you look at something and it's really worth a lot to you, then 7 years is not a lot of time to work for it. If you look at something and you say, it's not worth it, well, if it's not worth it, you definitely wouldn't put 7 years worth of work into it. Sometimes you speak to people and you wonder how they could pay such a fortune for something that you wouldn't buy, that you wouldn't even spend any money on. But to them, the item is really important. To them, this item is really worthwhile. And so they're willing to invest all that money for that thing because to them, it's worthwhile. And the amount of money they spend for it is considered negligible to the tangible benefits that they feel that they will get from that new car, suit, whatever it might be. And so this is the great lesson that we have in this week's Sedra. If you want to really gain from what you have, you need to be willing to work for it. And if you want to have the best things in life, they need to be worked for. They won't come free. You just won't get everything served on a platter. And Yaakov Avinu realized that, and so Yaakov Avinu says, I will pay a very high price. I will work for 7 years. Because Rachel's worth more than 7 years. 7 years is a tiny price to pay for getting your mate, your soulmate in this world. Compared to that, that's not a very high price. So it's all relative to what you're paying for. And we need to be willing to pay and to work for those things that are really worthwhile. And then, hopefully, please God, we will get them. Wishing you all a very good Shabbos and look forward to seeing you next week in Shul.